Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a zoning hearing starting at 5:30 before we have our regular bi-monthly meeting. All right, so I will call this meeting to order. And Cheryl, could you come up? We're going to have you explain the changes, if any, or the modifications, so we can be in alignment with state laws.
Thank you, Tom. I would ask that I know you have everything that we sent you such a long time ago that we've all forgotten about it, but you have all of those that we sent you. But we do have another that we just sent out, we approved at the Planning Commission at our meeting on the 27th, and that is for shoreland. Shoreland is something that has become a issue for the town in terms of Lake Raponda and the people who own land and property on Lake Raponda who are not familiar with the shoreland. Shoreland is 100% a state of Vermont rule. And what we have voted and have approved and would ask that you look at tonight is simply bringing our ordinance through Article 7, and there's 3 different sections. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 sections in Article 7 and adding a definition to Article 10. They are, as I said, the Planning Commission voted this out on the 27th at our last regular meeting. We've had 3 violations at Lake Raponda within the past probably 2 months that have happened because the people are not aware of the shorelands rule. It's a state rule, and everything that we have recommended in here, which is just a bullet in section 730 of the specific standards, just showing shoreland. And then adding to section 730K, a subsection under that talking about shorelands, and then in Article 10, which is the definitions, adding shorelands. Nothing in our recommendation except state law. So there's nothing here that we are suggesting that in any way does anything or changes anything. It's just bringing us into compliance with state law. Do you guys have the capacity to do that? The select board can do stuff like that. And we would really appreciate it. Probably we would appreciate it more at the DRB and zoning administrator level, only because it has become such a problem, and we've got owners and people in town who are getting themselves in trouble with the state because they're unfamiliar with the shorelands rule. So if we could just make it more a part of our zoning ordinance, we would really appreciate it. So other than that, everything is what we sent to you however long ago we sent it. It's been a while.
I know, it's been a while. Hold on.
Charlie's got music. Are we dancing?
Yeah, I'm trying to put on silent.
The Shoreland Protection Act has been in effect, what, 10 years now?
Probably.
Okay,
yes.
no, I remember when the
Yes.
state came down.
Yeah,
and
it's gotta be
introduced
pretty close.
that.
Yeah.
And we decided we would be involved. We would not allow them to have direct contact with the landowners, just to create a buffer, I think, between the two. But, you know, we all forget, and I think the measurement we forget. So when I heard that the one person that you had just mentioned had paved his driveway on the other side of the road, not even that it was still too close. So yeah, you just
Marshall has encountered all of this from his end as well, so he's familiar with what's going on Lake Raponda.
You look at that also.
Yeah. Well,
Don't be so energetic on it, please. But you know, it's just, I would never in my life think that if I paved on the other side of the road, that it's going to be a violation of the distance or the setback for the water. I think that's how it is.
Well, I mean, all we're asking is just because you guys have the ability to do that, if you would just add that to everything else that we said that you have on your hearing, which is, you know, if you need me to go over any of it, I'd be happy to. But if you could add the shorelands, the Article 7, the 2 things, and Article 10, just the definition.
So, but in 10 years, we've only had three violations.
That we know of.
Yeah, well, you know, that's right. John's right.
So, yeah, as John said. And there, I mean, and they've just happened within the last 2 months. So it's kind of, I don't know whether there's more eyes on Lake Raponda or exactly what it is, but I just would like to be able to let our residents be more aware of the ordinance.
All right, the association, John, association,
So like the Pond
aware of the shoreline protection?
They're definitely aware of it.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're very much involved in preservation of the lake.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know who the violators are, and I don't want to go public with names, but I can't imagine that they're very involved in the association and still didn't realize what they were doing. So,
Well, I mean, if you look at the DRB, you'll know who they are, because they've all had to, file applications and, fortunately, so far, there haven't been any big state violations and funds.
so is the state is responsible for enforcing the act,
But
correct?
it's also the town, because once it comes to the attention, if you have done anything in violation of the shorelands, then it comes to the town, it has to go to the DRB. We have to look at it and we have to give you a conditional permit.
So 730K that Cheryl is referring to has a very short.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it. I can see
Explanation.
that.
So what she's asking is that basically you clarify with the addition of the paragraph that she has there.
And then we're adding to 730K, which gives them more information. And then just because part of what you're looking at tonight is that we have recommended in the zoning ordinance that all the definitions come out of the individual articles and go into Article 10, which is definitions, so that every definition in our zoning ordinance is in 10, and we're suggesting that shoreland go into that in Article 10. So those are the three
Then the
things.
bullet is under the conditional use.
Yes, yep. So yes, the state, but it also has to come to DRB because it's all conditional.
You're just looking for work, huh?
No, I'm
Okay,
definitely
all
not.
right, all right, so, all right, so you have that, so let's talk about the other items. Have we had any change? Have we had any changes in the approach of the planning commission modify anything since we had their hearing?
Nope, nothing else.
So
Just the
everything's
only thing
exactly
is the
the same.
shoreland. Everything else that you see in what you put on for your hearing tonight is
Okay.
exactly as we went through our hearing with. There was nothing, no comments from our hearing that made us make any changes.
Right, okay. Hey, gentlemen, any questions? On any of the articles? I know you've seen these articles before.
So just keep in mind what Cheryl's asking. You do have to determine whether or not it's just added information for clarification purposes or whether you deem it a substantial change. And if
All
you
we're doing
deem-
is
if you-
restating the
That's
law.
that's the
all we're
shoreland.
doing.
If
Yeah,
you,
everything
yeah,
else is-
everything else has been appropriately heard by the planning
Right.
commission. So this would be language that you would want to add, and if you don't deem it a substantial change, you could do that tonight.
I mean, the planning commission did approve this as you've gotten it at our meeting on the 27th, but we did not have a hearing on it. So, correct,
But all you're doing is restating the actual law, the state
Exactly.
law, so
We're
we
just
don't really need
bringing
a hearing on that.
state law.
I know we're restating the law, but we are making a change to our zoning that was not previously there. We're adding,
Well, you're actually expanding a section that's already there. So
no, well, we're
it's your
adding
judgment.
a conditional use for shoreland that was not there previously. Is that not correct?
No, it's been there for 10 years.
No, for the state, but on our zoning,
Well,
shoreland was not in the zoning
but
previously.
No, it's
we
under
still
K.
have to see them as a conditional. So even though these sections are not written, it still is a conditional use. So if someone on Raponda, I mean.
Oh, no,
it's
I don't
only Lake
disagree that it's
Raponda,
conditional. What I'm saying is that it was not there previously, and for your hearing, it was not there. So now we're adding another conditional use.
what we're doing is, John, we're clarifying that that conditional use was there. So it was in 730K, but what we're doing is we're clarifying it so that people are more aware of exactly what it is. It was in 730K
The
originally.
shoreline was already.
It
in-
is
Okay.
already in 730K.
Okay,
All we're doing is adding, and it wasn't in 730 in the specific standards, we're adding it there, but it was in 730K. So yeah, we've already been hearing those cases.
gotcha.
We're just trying to do a better job of educating.
But of the three that were cited, were there any penalties that were levied by the state?
No,
None.
not so far. There's still one that is in trouble with the state, and we don't know what the response is for that. But there is one that may have penalties.
Well, I know the penalties are high,
They are high.
because I've seen it happen in our neighboring town.
But so far, we've heard one case, and that's not had any penalties from the town or from the state. Another case is in application, and the third case is dealing with the state currently.
Okay,
They haven't come to us yet.
all right.
And as John said, that's what we know.
All right. Anyone else have any questions?
And I think Matthew was here too, if you have any questions of Matthew.
Yes, hi, everybody.
Hi, Matthew. Well, I don't have any questions on this.
And I don't know if you have any questions on everything else that we went over back in the day.
I will have to say, if there's one thing that's beaten to death, it's usually this. Yes, Therese.
Can you explain the changes in Article 8, please, under signage?
The question is to explain the changes under number 8, under signage.
So that, do you want me to just answer that? So that's just the menu boards. What we have found is we have so many different food trucks and like wahoos and stuff, and there was nothing in there about menu boards. And menu boards are actually not allowed. So what we're doing is we're adding a menu board so that they can have a legal menu board, because menu boards in our current zoning are not allowed.
And feather flags are coming out of the allowed?
They were never allowed, they never existed, and we started having people with them, and so that when you had them, because they weren't allowed, it was a violation. So what we're trying to do is clarify that you can't have them, so people don't get violation notices.
We can have.
And what we're suggesting is you can't have them. There was nothing in the current ordinance, has nothing at all about them.
Is that open for discussion?
I'm sorry,
Is
Jan?
that open for discussion?
We had a hearing on it. Yeah, planning commission had a hearing on it. There
So
was
does
no
that include
discussion.
our vote signs out there and whatever too?
I'm sorry?
Does that include, collecting taxes and voting and all this? Do we allowed to still do that here, right here next to the
No.
building?
Feather sign is those things that.
Oh, feather, I'm sorry, I thought
Feather.
you were talking the other way.
I'm sorry.
Okay, and that's kind of been our
Feather
history, I've been talking to the back
signs.
of your head. All right, so that's kind of how it is.
But
All right,
Jan-
the
but
feather,
Janet-
I'm right.
but Janet can comment on that.
Well, my concern is for like festival type things, we've got the 250th anniversary coming up. And feather flags are a good way that they're gonna be above like a parked car situation to draw attention to something going on at a particular location. So I'm just trying to understand why feather flags are on the list as a no-go.
We never had them. They were not allowed. So when we, the planning commission met on it, because what we were doing is the zoning administrator was issuing violations, we just decided, and Matthew can certainly speak, we decided to not allow feather flags.
When is the celebration you're talking about?
Probably next year.
250.
Aren't we there already?
No, next year,
It was last year.
no,
Coming up.
2026.
Are we confused by the date?
1776.
That's,
believe.
that's the spirit. Yeah, okay.
Most of
Good.
our concentration will be from April through July, and there'll be some stuff beyond that as well. but-
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but it's just I don't know, I don't know the difference why that is being targeted any different than like an open flag or.
Those are all
piece like
allowed.
that.
Well,
So
I
why
mean,
is that
they-
so different?
The zoning, the Article 8, the sign portion of our zoning ordinance is enormous. And there are lots of flags that are allowed, and there are flags that you have to go to the DRB to get a conditional permit for. Like open flags are allowed. Our town sign ordinance is, if you read it, I don't want to say it's strict, but it's really very articulate, and it really speaks to every kind. I mean, you can have one fixed sign on your building if you're a business and one hanging over sign. It's very, very, and you can have one open sign. It's very limited.
I guess my recommendation would be to allow something like that for.
Why don't, when we get to that
Timing.
point, why don't you come back and we'll discuss it?
Timing of an event.
That
type
could
To
of
see if
thing,
it's actually
much
needed.
like voting signs go out, and you can only have vote for Tom for.
I never saw one of
certain
those.
length of
I never
time
saw
out
one of
on the
those.
curb,
So there are event signs that are a part of the current ordinance, and it could be, you could go to the zoning administrator and get a permit for an event sign for 30 days.
Yeah.
That is currently in the ordinance. So
But if-
you would be able to do that
But
for
if
30
feather flag
days.
is on the list of never permitted,
At this
how would
time,
that be
our
accepted under?
Our
that?
recommendation is that they be not permitted. But that doesn't say that you couldn't go to the zoning administrator and get a special event 30-day sign, which could be a federal flag. That's allowed in the current ordinance.
Like a request to cater, right?
I gotta tell you, I know more about the sign ordinance than I ever wanted to.
All right.
Janet was raising her hand.
When were you discussing that, Tom?
You can be heard.
You can come up.
Probably when we come up to the anniversary, I think, when it's going to be set up, and they have a solid plan on what they want to do and how to move forward.
I think the question is when we're gonna discuss whether feather flags are allowed or not.
I'm not picking up what you're saying then, Jen.
No, she can be heard, Tom. This is a hearing. She can be
Yeah.
heard.
Oh, no, I said, I'm not picking up what she's saying.
But at the end of the meeting, you're going to potentially vote on the
Right.
changes on the zoning ordinance. So
Okay.
if Janet wants to be heard, she can be heard.
So I'm
Janet,
I
just-
never said she
all I'm
couldn't be.
suggesting is, and I don't have it in front of me, John is looking at it, Charlie's looking at it, there is a section for special events. And you can go to the zoning administrator and get a permit, and there's nothing to say that you wouldn't be able to get a permit for a feather flag.
Mhm.
Because there's nothing in there that delineates what a special event flag could be. It's only a 30-day thing, though.
Which is fine.
Yeah, but that is currently in the
I mean,
ordinance.
in terms of economic development, the rights to have the little directional signs, the art and craft tour and stuff are very nice, but it's totally lost once all the cars are parked on Main Street. I mean, this has just been an ongoing observation for years. Feather flags were not common. I mean, we put them out at the elementary school when we did the Blueberry Jello Splash. Because we've kind of watched people slow down and try and read the little tiny real estate signs. And, it's just a backup of traffic. The feather flags we have made, we didn't realize. I think innocently enough, we thought they fell under that type of a rule. But we found out that that wasn't so.
Okay.
So we're looking more from my point of view, would be events and probably not even 30 days.
Okay, events maybe with a permit, would that be acceptable?
It's just tricky when it specifies no feather flags.
My concern would be it's a hard no.
Yeah.
in the zoning ordinance, but you're allowed if I go for a board. So
Well,
what does that say to anybody else with a business and they're reading a hard no on feather flags and I show up on the lawn?
then you'll be the bad guy. You'll be the bad guy. Okay. Any other questions? All right, with that in mind, and since no one has any other questions, I guess I can close this hearing, can I not? So at 5:51, we will close the hearing and we will reconvene to have our regular select board meeting at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna call this meeting to order. All right. Is she gonna let me go forward? Thank you. All right. I'm welcoming you all visitors and welcome any public comment that's unrelated to our agenda items here this evening. None being seen, Scott, I'm looking to you for possible changes to the agenda.
Under other business, I want to present a letter. Actually, work for an individual who works for the town.
Oh, all right.
I'll read the letter at that time.
Thank you. So it's not a letter of condemnation. It's okay. All right. So we're going to approve the minutes of October 7th. We're going to do that first. And that's John, you're the only one that can't vote on that one, but everyone else can. Somebody like to make a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of the 7th.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. We have a motion to approve the minutes of October 7th, 2025. And a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Let's go now to the 21st, October.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of the 21st.
Okay.
Second it.
All right. Yeah, there's only the three of us that can vote on this anyway.
Okay.
All right.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of October 21st, 2025. And there's only three of us that can vote on this. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Scott, I'll turn it right back to you.
Under action items, you have the select board to possibly accept the winter salt bid from Eastern Salt Company and Appalachian Salt at $97 per ton. Marshall is here to explain.
Salt went up.
Gee, that settles it. Then we're all set then.
So we're asking you to accept two bids. When we put it out to bid, we do not give a guarantee of how much we'd buy. The last couple of years, we have issues getting salt sometimes because of other reasons. They're both the same price. So this way it allows us to have two people to buy salt from. Last year you approved, I believe it was 91 and some change. This year it's $97. Eastern Salt is actually who got the state bid contract for $99.75, but they're offering it to us for $97. So we're getting it cheaper than the state. Unless you want me to call them up and ask them.
No, please,
Okay.
please.
So that's what I got to offer.
Okay.
But you're giving two vendors. So.
Yeah, so you're getting two vendors, so that way if I have issues, to be nice, the way I would do it is we get our first order from one vendor, the next order we'll get from we'll give them both some, so that way they each get it. That way if there's a salt shortage, hopefully we can get it. Eastern has a place in Massachusetts and New York. Appalachia is only New York, so sometimes New York will shut us down and we can still get it out of Mass.
Okay. And they're both okay with that, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Move to accept the winter salt bid from Eastern Salt Company and Appalachian Salt for $97 a ton.
All right. And how about a second?
Second.
All right. Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the winter salt bid from Eastern Salt Company and Appalachian Salt at $97 a ton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Scott?
Next up is the 1% local option tax request. The select board to possibly approve a 1% request from Beaverbrook School in the amount of $6,200, and Julie Kohler is with us.
You're way too eager, way too eager. Yeah, go. Julie, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. So you're expanding or no? Expanding?
Well, we would like to put in a kitchen so we can have a food program for all the children that we
Okay.
serve. So that's what this request is for tonight. So finish the kitchen. It's almost done. A while ago, maybe 4 years ago, OSEC was donated a lot of really nice cabinetry and kitchen appliances.
Uh-huh.
And we're just seeking last gap funding to do that. I have a grant that I'd like to get from the state of Vermont, but it does require a 1-to-1 match. So I'm asking for half of that, half of the rest of the project cost.
Okay, okay.
She does have a letter of support from OSEC.
Perfect.
Our resident grandmother. All right, so what's gonna happen here next year when Mount Snow cuts so many people loose? Probably 15, 16 families. So some contingencies or some ideas on maybe what would happen there?
Yeah, I've already talked to OSEC about that, and I've actually been meeting with the families from Mount Snow on a couple occasions, and we've been in pretty close email contact to try to figure out some plans. Everyone, I think, was very grateful that Mount Snow gave until June rather than
Okay.
the 6 weeks that they originally gave. I think there was a lot of worry when it was 6 weeks. So
Oh,
now they have until
we
June.
noticed, we
Yeah.
definitely noticed that.
Yeah, so I did apply for another grant through another Vermont nonprofit for $25,000. That would allow us to rent and expand some additional space in OSEC. We
Right.
are looking at using the cafeteria for next summer to more than double our license capacity to be able to accommodate some more
Okay.
children.
So the
Makes them very happy
USDA
with it.
Child Care and Adult Food Program, is that a program that is in jeopardy right now?
You know, that's a great question. I would really hope that it would continue. It's a really long-standing program that licensed childcares and residential homes use. It's been around for decades. It has a pretty low reimbursement rate for food and cooks, but it does cover some of the costs for those. And I think it's really important, and enough people would stand up and say that that would be invaluable to lose. So, yeah. I
Because
hope-
for your letter, you say that's pretty vital to this project, that continues that program.
Well, if we were to get funding and finish the kitchen and start a food program at Beaverbrook, we would be able to source additional grants from state of Vermont Department of Agriculture for much of the food costs. And then any additional costs we would be able to, like for things that we buy through Black River Produce and things like that, that's really what the USDA would help cover. But most of the meals would be sourced from local farms. So there's some really great CSA grants through the state of Vermont right now, and we're looking at applying for those as well.
And I guess you're also saying the kitchen will be available for other people to use, other groups, organizations?
Yeah, it's located in OSEC, so it's not in my childcare, it's in the building of OSEC. And while we would be using it Monday through Friday, like 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. to prepare morning, a breakfast and a lunch for the children, it would be available to other groups in the shared space, evening, weekend.
At a cost, or is that not discussed yet?
I don't think we've discussed that yet.
Okay.
Usually nonprofit groups that aren't charging anybody to use the
Mhm.
facility with them, there's no charge for that. So I can't imagine that there would be unless it was some sort of, people are gonna have to pay to attend. But we're hopeful that we can get some folks more centered around some senior food opportunities as well as children, because that's a lack. And there's so much going on now that's appealing to seniors with the yoga 3 days a week and then 3 days of walking, an hour of walking in the gym in the winter. There's a larger group turning out for that all the time. So hopefully we can make something work that would provide some sort of nutrition as well, or just getting together for soup and toast, keeping it simple. I don't think any of us are cooks, speaking for myself.
Questions? Anyone else? Any questions? If not, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'd be happy to make a motion.
Go for it.
Oh,
He's already
got it.
gone for it.
I make a motion that the select board approve the 1% request funds to provide $6,200. Is that enough?
To the Beaver Brook School.
Beaverbrook School, thank you.
Okay. All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the 1% request from Beaver Brook School in the amount of $6,200. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christine, you know you're up, right?
The subject matter is health insurance, and Christine will walk us through possibly approving a health insurance plan for 2026.
So I believe that Jess in your packet sent you the comparison of our current health plan, the Blue Cross Blue Shield Blue Edge plan, which is a plan that we've had since 2023. This year, when we were talking with our broker, the increase for the Blue Edge plan was about 30% over what it had been previously. The broker also talked with us about going back to possibly the the Vermont Health Connect and using the Platinum plan, but the Platinum plan that we had been using previously is also a 30% increase. So that put us to a point where we started looking at the next level down on the health plans on the exchange, which is the Gold plan. There's two of them. There's an MVP and a Blue Cross Blue Shield Gold plan. The MVP plan, we've done research previous years. We asked employees also to check in with their current providers to see if anything would be covered through MVP. There was mixed reviews or mixed feedback that they got. Their provider was in the plan, but some providers also said that they had had difficulties with MVP. Once you get out of Vermont, you are also in the Cigna network rather than still being in the MVP, which creates a third party situation. Because of that, we looked more at the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, which is the one that is on the paperwork that I have there in front of you, comparing the Blue Edge plan to the Blue Cross Blue Shield Gold plan. It's a 12% increase over what our current plan is. The deductible or out-of-pocket maximum is going up, which seems to be the case every year. The insurance plans seem to increase by a couple $100 regularly. And the thought process was that the employees would pick up that extra out-of-pocket costs themselves at the end, like what they are currently doing. And so that's kind of where we ended up. And it's up to you for questions, if anybody has any.
Talk about the major difference in the coverages between the Platinum and the Gold. And gentlemen, just so folks know that we did meet on this. And to continue with the Platinum was going to be an additional $300,000 this year. Just $300,000. By opting for the Gold, it's still going to cost another $100,000. But obviously, we're going to be saving, obviously, the $200,000 that we really. I can't tell you what's going to happen with health insurance. We are the most expensive in the country right now, and which we don't see any breaks coming down the road at all. But we had to make a recommendation of a change from the Platinum to the Gold just to save $200,000 up front. But I'm sorry, would you just kind of outline?
Yeah, I mean, the
difference?
biggest difference really between the platinum and the gold on the exchange is the initial deductible and then the out-of-pocket maximums. The platinum has a $500 for a single person deductible, and the gold has a $1,500 for a single person. So that's, like I said, that's one of your biggest differences. And then the out-of-pocket maximums are 1,600 versus 5,700. So that's why the premiums are much less.
And since we have a lot of the town employees here, any questions?
How much would it cost for a family plan out of pocket?
Yeah, how much for the family plan? The individual would be 15.
So are you talking the premium or are you talking?
What's it gonna cost us?
So for an individual out of pocket, if what we're proposing is passed, for a single would be $700, and for a two-person or family would be $1,400.
Okay, that's family, and there's no limit to the number of folks in the family?
Correct.
Okay, two or
The
more, right?
one of the things that the exchange does offer that our Blue Edge plan didn't offer too is that they offer a parent-child combination rather than family. It's a little bit less, excuse me, it's a little bit less expensive than even a two-person plan. With the plan that we have Blue Edge, if you had a parent and a child, it went automatically to the family plan.
Okay.
So
wellness is still included, dental for the kiddos is back in.
right, this
Yeah.
would allow for cleanings for the kids again, like what we had when we had the platinum plan. 2022 was the last year we had that. So
And just to put it in perspective, even at the gold site, what is the premium for the gold?
so the gold premium goes anywhere from 1,189.80 to 3,343.34.
All right,
per
so if we
month.
take everybody together, what's that line item going to be in our budget this year?
The total annual premium, and this is based on, of course, a calendar year
Right,
rather than a
right.
fiscal year, it would be 801,687.
$687, and of course, we've got to throw in the 36 cents, right?
Correct.
Right. All right, but again, that is 300,000, still, that's 200,000 less than the other plan. So that would be over $1 million for health insurance at this point for the town. Right?
If we went and did the
That's
Blue Edge
right,
or the
okay.
platinum.
No, I'm just trying to put it in perspective to basically explain the position we're in and how we're going to try and save some money at this point. You know, a $300,000 increase is substantial, obviously, since every year we see it go up. I think one year we did get a break. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's why we
But we
switched
paid
to
for the
the
break,
Blue
so-
Edge in 23 was because it was a much better deal at that point. And I think it worked out good for the town and for the employees.
And since that time,
Unfortunately, it's
we've seen roughly 10% increases each year. That was on the Blue Edge until they jumped to 30%.
this year, yeah.
I mean, the employees have great confidence in Blue Cross Blue Shield, and you know this is a moderate change.
Doug?
I've had the 10BP, and honestly, it's just sucks.
I will agree with you 100% of that. I've been there too.
We've been in Blue Cross Blue Shield, I've had, or any time I've had, you know, there's always a couple things, but I've never had any real difficulty with Blue Cross Blue
Right.
Shield. And if we went to for myself, if we went to the little less plan with a higher deductible for us, I'm still all right with that. It doesn't bother me. I mean, we gotta meet someplace in the middle on our side of it.
Okay.
And I think it's fair, and it's just my own opinion, so.
Well, we just want to make sure everybody was aware. We have not had a change in this insurance program, you know, in the 12 years I've sat here. right? So I just, we always kind of prided ourselves on keeping the platinum system going here, but they have really put it out of our reach at this point.
Well, I think it's great. It's also not a huge, it is a increase in the employee's share of cost, but, there was an article that came out with 100,000 Vermonters are not getting insurance this year, so
Right.
they're gonna lose it completely, so.
Well, we have vacancies, so let them know.
You hire innkeepers?
Yeah, I mean, I would echo Doug that the confidence in Blue Cross, I would feel more confident and comfortable paying a little more out of pocket to keep what we know and to keep that comfort level.
Either approach, it's very expensive. That's kind of what we're looking at. Anyway, anyone else have any questions at all? Jake?
What is the, Christine, what was the max for family plans on the gold?
The premium, you mean, or the out of pocket by the employee? The out of pocket, for the employees would be 1,400.
All right. Anyone else? All right, would somebody like to then make a motion? See if I can find my few here.
Which one have we approved? Or-
Number six.
No, okay, but which, the plan, the.
2026 Blue Cross Blue Shield Gold
Yep.
CDHP
All
plan.
right, so I'll make a motion to approve the health insurance plan for 2026, the Blue Cross Blue Shield Gold CDHP plan.
All right, do you have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the health insurance plan, being the goal plan for fiscal year 2026, for the year 2026. I'm not going to say fiscal year.
Fiscal year calendar.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Scott.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you, Christine.
Next up is the transfer station. The select board to possibly approve the amended transfer station fee schedule. Jessica and Marshall will walk you through that. Peter.
I brought my backup.
And that's a good backup. Good backup.
So we've been going over things, as we try to every time, budget time, year. It's been a couple years since we've changed the prices. Things have been going fairly well. Our dumpsters are filling very quickly. We're still having some problems collecting enough money to pay for this. Not that we're ever gonna collect 100% of the trash, but right now, where last year we were 42%.
42%.
So 42% of the fees, okay? That's, that we collect all year round, and we're only meeting 42% of the demand.
That's correct.
Revenues.
Revenues, yeah, well,
And that's
Revenue versus expenditure, yeah.
now that includes
42%.
recycling too, correct?
correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct. That's recycling. That's everything. That's the little bit of money we get from the scrap metal, because we do get money for the scrap metal, but it don't pay for the hauling. So
It
really,
doesn't hardly
it's-
cover anything.
yeah. The Freon we have to pay to have the Freon evacuated out of the refrigerators. Then we have to either put them in the scrap dumpster, or we have to haul them away, or we haul them to a place that does, we can do everything, but we pay to get rid of it. So it costs us more money. And our hauling fees and everything just went up again. The tonnage price just went up. I think it was around July-ish, right, Jess?
It was
sometime?
July, yes.
They just, I'm gonna call them Casella. Casella.
Yeah,
Raised their
Casella's
price.
hauling went up, their mattress prices went up, their tonnage prices went up.
So, on that note-
You remember, they have made some adjustments up there to try to improve efficiencies with regard to the date changes for the transfer station have resulted in better loads, right?
More full loads, yeah.
More,
being
more
hauled
full
out.
loads, yeah, we're not emptying partial dumpsters, which helps on the trucking part. Yeah, now you lost me. I'm trying to follow.
You were gonna go through the sheet schedule, I think.
Yeah, so these are recommendations. If you don't like them, we can talk about it. Tipping fees, so your regular trash bag that we throw away. Right now for a young fella, they're $4. We'd like to raise it to $5 and no senior price. So $5.
What?
What?
No, I think we're gonna leave it at $4 this year.
Seniors three.
Leave it at $4 this year for everybody.
Okay.
And it's one bag price for
So
everybody,
seniors will go up
$1.
$1.
Oh, I gotta go back buying dog food again then. Come on.
If that's what you want to eat. And that's for a trash bag. So we got to make this, because this is another issue we're having. People come with rubbish barrels, and because it's one rubbish barrel, they want to pay for one bag.
Well, it used to be 32 gallons. That's what, that's
a
the
bag,
barrel.
but even, so the bag's supposed to be 32 gallons to 35. I can stuff them bags into a 30-gallon barrel. I can put 4 of them in there. You fill them up, I can stuff them in there.
Okay. But the bags aren't that big. They're 13 gallon.
No, they're using the 32-gallon bags, and you can stuff that. People don't fill.
What I'm saying is the standard bag in your kitchen is
A kitchen bag.
13 gallons.
Yep.
Okay, it's not 32, it's 13. So you
Right.
should be able to put 4 of them in. That's
In
fine.
the 32.
In your 32-gallon bag.
That's what I'm.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, a bag. We're
Okay.
going by bag.
All right.
So the rubbish cans, so I also was gonna mention that we met with solid waste. Peter, not this Peter from solid waste came, and these are some of the fees that they're recommending as well. And it's also matches their fees. And some of the problems we're having. So a rubbish can, if somebody comes with a rubbish can, they would pay $8 for a rubbish can.
For the 32-gallon barrel.
Yeah.
Which is the same price as the 55-gallon bag fee.
Right. And then the other price change, demolition material, raising the price of that from $10 a minimum to $20. If they're bringing concrete, we're charging them a little bit more because it's heavier. Minimum on the metal going up $10. Appliances,
You had asphalt shingles, I think, don't you?
they're not changed.
Yeah, it does say that.
15.
25
Oh, they did?
25 versus
on
15.
the asphalt.
Oh, yep, sorry.
Sorry, I couldn't print it any bigger. I really tried.
Smoke.
It wouldn't print bigger.
Okay.
And your next-
Appliances with refrigerant. So we're covering $5 basically. If we get rid of a refrigerator, it costs us $25 to get rid of it. So we're asking $30 because we have to do something with this. The without refrigerant, they take up room and they don't weigh nothing. So again, it's just to try to make up some of this. Mattresses, we're going to 55 right now. They cost us $43. That's what they cost to
That does
get.
cost you 43 to haul away.
Yep. Plus, so this is, they count the mattresses, plus they charge us for the weight for the mattresses. So they charge us more than that. If you follow them.
And a hauling fee.
Yeah, and then we got the hauling fee too.
What's solid
Triple
waste,
dipping.
what's solid waste charging on those? Do you remember?
50 or 55. I can't remember.
So then we go down to permit fees. And a young fella, this part I think I can still get right, be $40, which is going up $20 on their half. And a senior is staying the same, 15?
Yep.
Yes.
So we're not changing the senior rate. And then last but least is recycling. So we're gonna limit the amount somebody can bring to us for free every time they come visit us. And the amount would be one of them recycling barrels that are in the back, the blue recycling barrels. is what they can bring each time they visit us. If they bring more than that, we will charge them extra money.
I'm gonna put that on Peter.
I am.
Gotta lay down the law.
And it will also help with people breaking things down, because if they know they gotta fit it in something small, they should be breaking it down anyways. It's told they're supposed to break it down, but if they have to fit it in something smaller, they will break it down because they don't like paying money. So if they have an argument that he's saying that they have too much, we'll have one of them rubbish barrels there, put it all in there. If you can fit it all in there and shut the cover, then dump it for free. Sorry, we're trying to charge you too much. But when we have people coming with multiple pickups or pickup loads of recycling, backing up and dumping it in there, that's the people we're trying to get a little bit more money out of. You look like you have a question.
I have a number of questions. One, I'm offended by the whole raising of the senior price, but that's beside the point. So on the recycle, so I'll take myself, for instance, I'll come with a 32-gallon garbage can and maybe a bag. So I'm not bringing one of those containers with me.
You don't need to bring one.
No, I understand that, but so then I'm gonna have to stop and Peter's gonna be like, hey, put everything in here to make sure it fits?
No, so it's gonna be for the people that come with a truckload and they say, oh no, it will all fit in that dumpster or that container. You're coming with your trash bag. It's within reason. We gotta keep it, but we have to have a size. So that's a quarter yard. Believe it or not, that can is considered a quarter yard.
So if it goes over that, the charge is gonna be $5 to $10. What's 5 and what's 10?
Depends on how big of a load.
Or you can choose a fee.
Yeah,
I think
you guys can pick a fee. We can work with you. This is.
we only,
Well, I'm saying, how are we gonna, is it one more of those is $5? Is it half of that is $5?
I think we had a hard time deciding what a fee would be, so we put that down and please pick one.
Okay. So some of my other questions, do we know in all these categories how much money we're getting for each of these categories?
Yes, it's
Well,
not quickly, but yes.
But the reason I'm asking the question, so how was it decided to raise some and not others?
So okay, we'll start with the trash, because that's the first one.
Right.
One problem we're having, and I didn't want to bring a lot of this up, but one problem we're having is we have senior people. Some that have now started a business, or have always had a business, but they're at a senior.
Okay.
They're at senior age. So they're bringing truckloads of rubbish in trash bags, and they want the senior discount price. But it's a business. They shouldn't be paying. They're doing house cleanouts, or they're cleaning rental houses, or doing their house checks or whatever. So that's one issue we're having. And we have some people, then they complain. We have to ask them for their ID because they'll tell you they're senior, and they're not a senior. I'm sorry. I've been around here long enough. I know when some people are seniors and not.
Okay.
And they're my age, they're not seniors.
Right.
Or sometimes when people think that 60 is senior.
Right, which
Yeah,
is 65.
Still got 5 years.
So that's another issue. So it's one way to look at it is, I said $5, she said $4, was we'd like to raise it all up because we're not collecting all the money for the rubbish. That part we have looked into.
Right.
You're also comparing other
towns.
We're not at $4. We're still cheaper than other towns. We're told we're the cheapest place. That's why people like coming to us. The only one that's a little bit cheaper on some things is Dover.
And they're looking to update theirs once we finish ours.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it combat that piece of it? So I come with 10 bags. So my one bag is $3. That's normal. Your 9 other bags are $5.
We did away with that.
We did away with
to
that.
simplify the poor transfer station attendant.
Because then we have the people, you may not, but there is people, and I'll use Tom because he likes to pick on me. He would sit there and argue and say, I get a free, but it's supposed to be a $3 bag once a week. And we had people coming multiple times.
Well, that's my point. If I show up with 10 bags, you're going to charge me $3 for bag one, and then you're going to charge me $5 for bags.
That's not how it is anymore.
I understand that we don't do that now, but wouldn't that kind of solve the issue of someone showing up with 10 bags instead of
It would,
penalizing a
because you
person
would
with one
understand
bag?
it, but the other guy will argue with you and tell you that is not how it is, and they won't.
Well, I know they'll argue with it, but if I make it $5, I can argue that also and tell you that it should be 3. What's the
But
difference?
these people, you're not up there dealing with these people.
No, I get it, but I can argue anything. throwing
You
the trash
can,
out.
you can, it's easier to have one price. It makes it down to easier to one price.
Right, we used to have 2 prices. It confused some people. It was harder for the attendant to keep track of it. So a couple years ago, we did away with it and just did single, I think in 23, we did away with it and just did single price for senior, single price for non-senior. Just because it seemed to be a bigger problem than it had ever been, trying to keep
But
track
he's
of
still
one
counting
bag
bags
versus
though.
not.
He
Yes.
still has to know that it's 10 bags, whether
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
charging
Yeah.
one price for one and the other price for the other 9. They're still counting 10 bags.
It's really not that easy when it's busy and you have to ring it into the register
Okay.
and you have people arguing with you at the same time, which is why we did away with it.
Okay.
I don't understand the point of that. Charging one price for a bag.
It came because seniors used to get a free bag, and then the state said you could no longer do that. So to appease them, we gave them one reduced bag and then regular price
Yeah, I
bags.
remember when it used to be.
That's where it came from, when they were told we could no longer do free bags.
The overall outcome is to try to close in on maybe getting closer to 50% revenue.
So why wouldn't we just across the board raise all the pricing instead of cherry picking which ones to raise?
You can do that.
And we focused more on the stuff that we take in on a very regular basis, not the
Okay.
stuff that we collect a couple times a year. We focused on the stuff that we collect the heaviest.
I have to say, I was kind of concerned about the senior pricing too, until I realized that the annual fee for the seniors is not changing, it's just the bag fee.
The annual fee did not go up.
So,
We were trying to find a middle ground as we were looking at prices.
So I got a question for you guys. How many vehicles without permits do you get in?
Probably more this time of year, because if people are only coming a couple of times, they won't buy a permit until December, like new homeowners.
Honestly, I'd say a third.
So I think we should make that price a lot more.
Change the $5.
Change to $5, yeah, up. We'll just double
The
it,
surcharge.
$10.
Oh, you're saying the
Surcharge?
surcharge?
Yeah,
yeah.
Huddersfield's Flatlanders right now.
Yep.
What are you recommending? To what?
$10.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
Well, that's for the fun.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't even actually talk about that fee when we were looking at the prices.
Because I have to say, when I saw the thing was going to 40, I did actually quickly in my head think, how often do we go? Is it worth me just not getting the permit and just paying the $5 plus my $4 for the bag? Because I literally have more recycling than I do.
Right.
There's only Mike and I, we don't generate a lot of trash.
It's only because,
So I think Charlie's point is valid, like
Yeah.
it would behoove you to raise the price of the non-permitted permit. fee,
Yep.
Whatever you want to call it.
This is something small, but a lot of towns say that under the surcharge must be adhered to the vehicle. Because if not, the rental property is just gonna pass the permit back and forth.
That is actually what they do. That's not
Yeah.
a lie. It's a household permit. It's not a vehicle
Right.
permit.
We got rid of vehicle permits years
And
ago
so,
and went to.
Yes,
household
that is
permits.
another issue, but this is what I've been told the way it's gonna be, so they do not have a vehicle permit, so yes, a rental, there's rentals that it's posted on the refrigerator. They have the people's name, because we have a list of people's names. Peter has a list of, supposed to be everybody that's on there. And they either come up with a name or they know the permit number and say it's permit number, he can verify it. And they're done, and they don't have, that's why, one person buys a permit for
Yeah.
3,000 people.
a certain amount of trust that still goes into running the transfer station.
So in that vein, and I think the answer probably no, can we charge more for non-residents than residents?
No,
We don't,
Okay.
I mean, it's a household, so they have to be affiliated with the house.
whoever's buying the permit.
I have a question.
Yep.
Joni?
How long do the permits last, and
The
how
town-
effective is checking the maintenance of the permit to make sure it hasn't expired?
So it's a calendar year, and we change the color of the permit every
There you
other
go.
year. That
Thank
we
you.
know that it's expired.
That was something we started this year. We never changed, I won't say they never changed the color, but a permit used to be 4 corners. So it
Right.
was green for a long time
For
and it had
years.
4 years on it. We were supposed to go around and punch out 4
Punch out,
years.
yeah.
Now, like your vehicle inspection sticker, we got 2 colors because we want to save, because Jess is very frugal. So now a roll, when we have extra, we save them for the following year. So right now they're red, they'll be green or whatever color we call that other color, blue, greenish. Start in December is what we'll be selling. And we'll save whatever red ones for
For
the following year.
Okay.
So that is one thing that we changed to try to help, because before you said, what, they'd say, oh, I have a green one. Well, then now we gotta look the number up, look at, see if it's been punched, see if it's on the list. So we're trying to
Simplify.
simplify.
Do you get a lot of people with expired permits trying to use the dumps?
It's gotten better. I believe it's gotten a lot better, or at least our permit sales are a lot higher. We've been double staffing when it comes, so starting December 1st is when we start selling permits for next year.
Yep.
And there'll be more than one person up there, so as they come through, they're asked to purchase or letting them know permits are due, so maybe the next time they come, they'll be ready, because some don't have money with them. But for the whole month of December, there will be at least 2 people up there, if not 3, to sell permits.
Thank you.
This, we sold 700 and something, 7 something when me and Jess did it, I believe, permits.
Also, to save on that, we put up a signboard to allow people to know if they were behind or still good.
Yeah, so that's another thing now that we have the extra message boards.
Charlie's message board.
Yeah,
I have a question. This is not, 2 questions. One, when was the last time we did a free hazardous waste day?
Those are run
We
by
don't do
solid waste, and they only do them once a year.
Okay.
We sold 754 permits this year.
And with these changes, if we're at 42%, do we have an idea what our changes?
So I did use it based on last year's numbers, because that's what I have, and it would be about 49% based on a year-old number.
Really?
Yeah.
Still only
So we're still falling behind.
Yeah, but it's old numbers, and we sold more permits this year. I just didn't have final numbers to use this year's numbers, so that's,
Okay.
I mean, the goal is.
you'd be creeping up closer to the 50, but
The goal is try to stay close to
Okay,
that. That's
all
what
right.
we've always done, so.
What about the tires? Have we never, tires, what's the rate that we pay? for?
tires, we raised up a lot the last time,
yes. A lot.
a
Are they
lot.
still current?
I think we're pretty
I
good
com-
on price.
Based
from
on
what-
the other towns in solid waste, we're pretty, yeah.
And our
pretty
tires
on par.
actually go to the solid waste.
Yeah.
That's where we bring them. We can't get nobody else to come get them. Unless you want a lot of tires.
So I did a spreadsheet of all the other towns that have transfer stations, well, the ones closest to us. And then when solid waste came down, we looked at their fees and just looked at kind of how off we were compared to them. And then solid waste gave us recommendations, and that's where actually a lot of our prices came from their recommendations, like the barrel price, the recycling, charging for recycling after a certain amount, stuff like that came from solid waste.
Our permit fees are still cheaper than Whitingham, solid waste. Dover is cheaper, but they're waiting for us to make our decision. They'll raise their standard.
Well, you know, I think in fact, I've told Jess
Dover's the same
about
price
this
as
for
us right
years,
now, though.
that we have a number of towns that have been charging by the ton for recycling. They've been doing it for years. And they still are. It's getting very expensive. These small towns are getting killed with this.
So we've been able to charge for recycling for a little while, and that's when we switched to everybody needed a permit. We went to an access permit.
Right.
To kind of offset some of the cost, but the amount people are dumping and recycling doesn't come anywhere near the amount that we're spending to send it out.
Well, when we had the roll-offs over there where the
Yep.
public safety building is here at this point, that was just a complete fiasco.
And then you had them, remember, then we removed them to the transfer station. They were hard to manage the way they were, off to the side like that. So now I think it's easier to manage the whole operation from the top deck, right?
And if it makes it feel any different, and I don't have the exact percentage unless she remembers, we're about 56% senior permits this year.
So, yeah, something like that.
56, 57.
I don't know, sometimes you think the state would just jump in.
Just letting you know that permit wise, it is 50, it was 56 or 57% of them were seniors buying permits, just to let you know. Don't want to say I'm hiding secrets.
Well, this is the oldest county in the state, you realize.
Well, and that's the hard thing. So when our prices go up, we can't keep all of the pricing off of seniors because they are the bulk of our usage at the transfer station right now too. So there has to be a little bit of give and take with all of it.
It's life. It's life.
I have a question. So you're talking about a 32-gallon barrel.
Mhm.
What if your barrel's not 32 gallons? Is it gonna be no matter what, if somebody comes to the trash barrel, it's $8? Even if it's not a 32-gallon barrel?
If it's less than 32 or more than 32.
So I think the number was actually between 32 and 35 gallons.
She's asking about a smaller
What if
barrel.
you have a 26-gallon?
Oh.
One of the little trash bag barrel or your home.
I mean, it's a trash barrel, so I can fit 2 bags in it.
So that's the same price, isn't it? Come on.
That's why I'm just
That's
curious,
24
if
gallons,
somebody
yeah.
has, if they're not coming with a 32-gallon bag, if they come with a barrel.
I mean, we could change it to say up to.
It makes you feel better.
So just like we have a minimum bag price, right? So the minimum bag price is
Doug, go ahead.
So I'm the oldest town employee, pretty much now.
I don't think so, but go ahead.
Then the don't count. Work.
Hourly, let's say hourly.
Holy
Don't say
crap.
working, let's go hourly.
But anyways, 22 years. I worked at that dump all through.
Yeah.
22 years. And to keep keeping the prices the same to me, because I know Peter's gonna need help once in a while out there. Keeping the prices the same, so if I have to come in, keeping it easy, makes it a lot easier for me to deal with Joe Public on if the prices are straight across, instead of trying, Christine saying 32 to 26. You keep like that, I should just straight across the board, keep it simple, so the guy running the dump don't have to spend a lot of time explaining to somebody in and out. Just a nice, easy flow going in and out.
I think you'd like that, Peter, wouldn't you?
I mean, that's mainly the biggest struggle of it now.
Yeah. All right. Hey, folks, I think we've been up to our ears in trash. I think we spent more on trash than we did on the medical insurance, to tell you the truth. All right. So I'm going to end the discussion and ask someone if they would like to make a motion to amend the transfer station's fee schedule as of the 1st of January.
December, right? Was it December or January?
It'll be January, the changes take effect January 1.
Okay.
So are we gonna amend it to be exactly what's written on here now?
You can,
There were a couple of changes that you were
Right.
suggesting. One was the
surcharge?
the $5 surcharge moved to $10. The other was the 32 gallon barrel. What
up to
was
32.
up to 32? And then I think the other one, John, was number 15. You wanted to you wanted to change or identify what amount on number 15.
For the commercial permit?
No.
No.
The recycling.
No, that's not number 15.
Number
Oh, it might be how I wrote it.
Oh, it is,
Because
oh,
I
it is on
crossed out.
her, it is on her fix.
It is on
list.
mine.
That should be 6.
Yeah, there was either $5 or $10 tipping fee, and you wanted it to be one or the other, I think.
Shouldn't it just be $5 per every 55 gallon?
So we were giving them the first 50 gallon. So they
Okay,
got
so
free,
$5.
so $5 for everyone after that,
Done?
For every what one after that?
55 gallon barrel.
Okay,
So if they have 4 of them, they're gonna pay $15 extra a month, because they get one free.
I was like,
Is everyone
Math.
satisfied with the $5 for that one?
I guess,
Yes.
sorry, my concern is if you make recycling the same as garbage, then people aren't going to recycle. Recycling. So
The first barrel is free.
the first barrel is free, but if I have 2 barrels and I need to get rid of it, why wouldn't I just throw the second barrel in the garbage? If it's the same cost. And actually, isn't a bag of garbage $4, so a bag of garbage is cheaper if I have 32 gallons?
No.
32 gallons. I'm just saying, I think that has to be a different price, otherwise you're going to get recycling in the garbage. People that have a lot of recycling.
$8 for, it'd be $8 for a 55 gallon barrel. Because that's what we're saying.
For trash.
Garbage.
Of recycling, or garbage. Yeah, or, yes, so the recycling's cheap.
Because the first one's free, but the second one,
The second one would be $5. Garbage in a 55 gallon barrel would be $8.
Or a 55 gallon bag, I mean,
Or a
is
55
$8.
gallon.
but I'm saying if I have 50, whatever it is, the first amount that's free, but then I have, say, 32 gallons left, right? I could pay $4 and throw away as garbage, or I could pay $5 to throw away as recycling.
You might get lectured.
No matter what, if you have
No
more
matter
of
what,
it.
the garbage, the regular garbage tipping fee is $8 paid across the board.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you.
What's
Okay.
your pleasure?
All right, somebody like to make a motion?
We gotta finish making the pay sheet, so we make sure everybody's
So
happy with
15,
what
what
it
we
is.
doing, 5 or $10?
I'm good with the 5.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna move this along. I'm gonna say the select board to possibly approve the amended transfer station fee schedule as discussed at the November 4th meeting. Okay, we have a second.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the schedule as presented and amended. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Remember now, we can revisit this at some time too. Okay, so.
Yeah, we can always make adjustments.
Yep.
So we try to only do this every couple of years, so I will never do this.
Mother of God, yes. It's kind of like the school. With the school, you couldn't get anybody to come to the curriculum meetings, but you come to the school bus stops and you certainly get an earful. Okay.
Less clear.
We'll pause and we're waiting for Charlie to come back.
Okay.
I'm sure what we actually voted
Well, next time you go up there on January,
Right.
you figure it
in. I
out.
know.
Ooh.
Animal control.
That way it's the right numbers. Okay.
Marvin Pham. Oh, it's a Chinese food. Who's got it?
We have an
On the
email.
phone?
No, I'm just saying, I don't have that.
Yeah, we have an email already.
Oh, that's right, that's right. Okay.
So next up is the animal control ordinance. And the select board to possibly approve the amended animal control ordinance.
This is amended also.
Chief is here.
And I don't know if Ian sees the trails.
Elin, are you here for trails or no? Come on down. Chief? Chief, you want to join us?
We're doing the animal orange. So, hi, I'm Ian Ledon, on the Wilmington Trails Committee. As most of you guys know, we've spent a lot of money and time working on making the Hoot Toot and Whistle Trail much more accessible. As part of that, one of the things that we wanted to address was concern with dogs that are off leash on the trails, and making sure that people feel comfortable and safe. Even a friendly dog running up to people when they don't know if they're barking or growling or running can scare people, and we want to make sure everyone in town feels safe, comfortable walking on the trails. So we had talked about proposing this change to the ordinance to make sure that not just the dogs under the owner's control, which is obviously very subjective, but also on a leash if they're on the trails. Also noting that a significant portion of the trails are on private property. And we've had a lot of instances also of dogs running off the trails and onto people's property. So.
I'll just point out that the current animal control ordinance requires control of your dog when it's off your property. It does not specifically require a leash requirement. So meeting with the trail committee about how the best way to modify this ordinance to fit the trails. There are some trails that are more rural, might lend themselves to the dog being off leash if it can still be controlled by the owner. However, the enforcement piece becomes complicated if you are only taking certain trails and sections of trails to modify controls. So my position is, if this is the will of the select board, it'd be for all town maintained trails. So it's clear, everybody knows that if they're going out with their dog, it needs to be leashed on Wilmington town trails.
Has it been a big problem?
We do get a number of complaints from people,
Okay, from other hikers, that is.
from other hikers on the
Okay.
trails. Yeah.
You want this just on town trails or town property?
Well, on town property, you'd have to have a leash though at this point.
So,
Well, see,
okay, but
that's not true. This is what I had brought up earlier, which is why the point I was gonna make, and Vince pointed out that, so we don't have a leash law for
We
the
have a state
town.
leash law, John, that we rely on.
No.
No, we have an
we do
animal
not.
control ordinance,
Yeah,
but the onus on that ordinance is that the owner must have control of their dog. Now,
Right.
some people have control, voice control, they use remote controls to control their dogs. But it's at that point where your dog is not under your control, it is considered then running at large.
Mhm.
This modification simply says you must be leashed on a town trail.
And all other, you have to have your dog under control.
right, but that was my point when I first had brought this up, and I thought we were gonna go townwide instead of just the trails, which I'm not against. I think the trails is a great idea, but I'll just speak from my own association. We've had issues up in our route with dogs are running at large and supposedly under control, and you have no way of knowing that. We've had complaints where people have other dogs running up to their dogs and have run into the house because they're afraid of the dog. So I thought we were gonna, when we first talked about this, that we were gonna do public property in the town, since we do not have a leash law. And again, I'm not opposed to the trails, and if that's where we start, that's fine. But I would also push toward a leash law on town property and in public areas.
I agree with that. I think, you know,
actually does make sense.
the high school, the
Yeah,
people walking Lake and Pond. Yeah, I like the part on here. I have private property that goes over trails, so that's on there, so that's easier, but yeah.
I don't like the idea of punishing everyone for the few that can't control their dogs. So I haven't found a big issue with the animal control ordinance since I've been here. If somebody calls and they say, there's a dog on my property that should not be here, that's a dog running at large. And that's easily enforceable under our current ordinance. A dog that chases somebody out of control of their owner, that's a dog running at large as well, and easily enforceable. I think where it would get complicated is then you got to define what is public property. I mean, is it only town-owned property? Is it town-maintained property? Is it school property? Is it, you know, I mean, where is that going to go? I haven't seen a great issue. I mean, I know we do have dog problems. I'll be the first to tell you that, you know, we have dog bites and dog incidents and dog running at large and dogs barking. But it's not a massive problem, and the ordinance gives us the tools to enforce kind of like the general peacekeeping and quality of life that we need. So I'm kind of leery in my approach where I would say, well, we got to punish anybody who takes a dog out off their own property. And it has to be leashed because some people are really good about maintaining it. I see them every morning in the village with dogs under control and they're cleaning up after their dogs. So I'm not sure it's needed, but it might be a bigger conversation for another time. Whereas this really, our goal was to address the issue of dogs not being leashed on town trails, which may be narrow. You may have people on bicycles, you'll have kids running on the trails. And those can all be kind of triggers for dogs as well, so.
Does the ordinance have to include what are considered town trails? Like,
I believe it does say that. It has wording that addresses what
Yeah, and I
the town trail.
don't know if the next step was to have a lawyer review what we had written, or
He did.
if they had any changes. I didn't want to just read what we wrote.
No, I think we would post the property.
It was under the definition for public trails maintained by Wilmington Trails Committee, and I won't read the whole thing. It means any public trail that is governed by run by the Wilmington Trails Committee. So
Yeah,
we'll spell that out.
We'd have Marshall probably.
And we did call
give
out
us some
not on the
signs.
owner's premises. I don't know if they changed that at all to make it specific, like if you are the owner and your trail is. and
No,
the
it's,
trail is
yeah,
going
it's in
through
here.
yours.
Yeah, it's in there.
So.
So your recommendation is just the trails?
I'm not adverse to the conversation, but I think that's a bigger conversation than we had intended at this meeting. I think our focus was really on the trails and
It's incremental. It's
address it.
incremental. I think it's incremental. I mean, the larger discussion is, you know, at some other time might be parks, or it might be off premise. That would be public. You know, those are discussions.
I mean, my only concern is, and again, I'm okay just doing this for now, but when we're saying the dog under control, nobody has any idea whether that dog's under control or not. I mean, you have no what's going to set the dog off, another dog, a person running by, whether it's on the road or on a trail. So that definition of the dog being under control is as vague as you could possibly have, because no one could prove that. You
If you
never
know
know.
your dog,
No, you know that, but the person who's walking the other way with the dog or with the child or just running, going for a run in the street. I've had many times running on Lake Caponi where dogs come running up to me that are off leash. I have no idea whether that dog is going to bite me or just come and wag his tail. That's just my opinion on that. But again, I'm more than happy with at least getting this into the trails part of it for now.
Like Scott said, incremental. So let's at least get this in place.
Right, let's just stick with this.
Okay, it's kind of soon. I will have to say, in all the years I've been involved with Wilmington, it's never had a vicious dog hearing until this year. We've had two. Very one that's mess. The other one was absolutely severe, really severe. Anyway, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the amended animal control ordinance.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the amended animal control ordinance. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Scott? Go.
So the ordinance, as adopted on this fourth day of November, unless a petition is filed as provided by law, would become effective upon 60 days from this date.
It's not till the new year.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. All right. All right, somebody like to make a motion?
Charlie did make a motion.
We did, and Ben seconded.
I make a motion and we change, I'm sorry, I'll make a motion that zoning ordinance would be changed as submitted and possibly enacted 60 days from now.
Go on a different one.
You're on a different one.
No, we're animal control.
Second.
right now.
Wait, hold on.
Back up, back up.
What are you doing?
You said zoning. And Charlie already made a motion.
That's what we're doing, the zoning would.
No, we're doing animal control.
We just did that.
Okay, sorry.
How old are you?
First,
Where's the lapse
No,
here? Where's the lapse?
the motion was Charlie.
We didn't-
Second was
Vince. And then,
And then you moved right to zoning?
all in favor?
I don't know how that happened.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next.
Thank
Right.
you all.
Okay. See?
Whoa, okay.
I didn't think
All right, I
this
move we
was
go into the
zoning.
liquor commission.
No,
No, let's go to zoning.
Well, no, we just did that.
no, you did animal control.
I made the motion on the zoning and we had a second.
I seconded the zoning motion.
You sure did.
Oh, no.
Well, and
All right.
we didn't vote, so.
We will go through it again then. I move that we accept the changes in the zoning ordinance and approve it as outlined on November 4th. All right,
Second.
have a second? Motion
Second.
is, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries.
I just
Doug.
have a question. What is the ordinance that you guys are voting on? I didn't see any description. I'm just curious.
Animal control.
Animal control.
That was for.
All right, and you know, we did the zoning, the changes to the zoning to be in compliance with the state law,
Okay.
okay?
That's
Along
all.
with the
I just wanted-
Shoreline Protection Act, et cetera,
Yeah, no,
okay? All right,
I'll go to the-
all right, now, I'm gonna move that we go into the liquor commission.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Scott,
I'm gonna let Jessica catch up for a minute.
she's slacking here.
So for the Liquor Commission to possibly approve a request to cater for an event at Memorial Hall on November 21st, 2025, from 7 to 10 p.m., catered by Valley Craft Ales.
Chief, you saw this? Okay, you're all right with it? Okay, would somebody like to make a motion then?
Motion to approve the request to cater and for an event at Memorial Hall on 11/21. I believe it's 11/21.
Okay,
Yep.
yes. All right, Tony made a motion. We have a second?
Second.
All right, we have motion a second to approve the catered, the event for Memorial Hall on 11/21/25 from 7 to 10, catered by Valley Craft Ales. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, Scott, other business.
So under other business, you and the select board have a letter from the VMCTA, which is the Vermont Municipal Clerks and Treasurers Association. Dear Tom Fitzgerald and the Wilmington Select Board, it is with great pleasure that I write to tell you that your assistant town clerk received an award from the VMCTA at our annual awards banquet in September. Edna Eldred was awarded the VMCTA's Vermont Assistant Clerk of the Year. This award had much support from her town, including the town clerk, the town finance officer, the zoning administrator, town manager, and additionally, a neighboring town clerk. The highlights of the presentation included anecdotes of her noteworthy interpersonal skills and her team spirit and participation that create an atmosphere and level of service that gives the town clerk the confidence that the office is in good hands. She's been described as the most sincere and welcoming person encountered. Edna's deep knowledge of town procedures is impressive, and when she encounters something unfamiliar, she takes the initiative to find accurate answers quickly and thoroughly. Her dedication to service and can-do spirit truly set her apart. Of course, mention was made of Etna's Irish charm. Etna is a familiar face at VMCTA trainings and events as she continues to seek out educational opportunities and examine statutes. Her devotion to the town goes beyond, and she is always there, not only for her town, but for all. She puts in long hours during elections and town meeting to make sure everything goes well. I hope you will join the VMCTA in congratulating Etna Mildred on this well-deserved recognition. Sincerely, Diana Vachon.
Very good. Etna, thank you.
How did that happen?
I was shocked and surprised, and it happened, and it was very nice. Thank you.
Okay. Right, this one, we're now down to number 12, select board members and their comments. John, you want to start?
None.
Vince?
None.
I don't have anything either. How about you, Charlie?
Nada.
Nada, huh? All right, Scott, so it's to you.
Tony.
No, sir, nothing for me.
Oh, I thought you were just going to give us a weather forecast. No?
It's, I'm suffering through at 84 degrees, sir.
Holy cow. Scott?
We have one more police officer to hire, and the police chief in the department is going through applicants and sending them, putting them through their paces currently to find one more. The highway heavy equipment operator with a CDL. Interviews, another round of interviews will take place
Thursday.
this week. Agency transportation, bridge number 31. You want to hear about
Yeah,
bridge number
let's-
31?
Well, you know, the hole's still there, so this is the second week, is it not? Or is this the
Yes.
third week?
Second.
Okay,
So
We're gonna run out of time.
Marshall might as well give you the story. The story is much more interesting coming from him than it is from me. So would you like to just take the mic a little bit? So Tony can hear you?
I just clip a mic.
So remember, we're expected these temporary repairs
Right.
to take place on the 20th, and they started on the 27th.
So I met with, we'll start with first the whole story. Met with them the day they started out there. They apparently didn't do a very good job pre-instruction because they didn't realize the holes were so big in the bridge when they pulled the metal plates off. They have since then put some concrete in the holes, except they missed one. They forgot about one when they put the concrete in last Thursday. And then today they fell through in another spot. So now they have another hole. So they are pouring some more concrete this maybe week. So the reason I stopped and see them today was to ask them, because I knew somebody would bring this up here. If they had a date, their original date was supposed to be done by November 14th and out of here. Now they said they'll be lucky they'll be out of here by Thanksgiving. So kind of expected they're gonna go a little longer than they always think they are, but it's not looking good. They still have a half a bridge to do. They said a week and a half is what the schedule was, and they haven't even started the second half yet. So at the end of this week, will that be 2? Then they got 2 more weeks to do the other half if they do that. That's where we're at. The state guy don't like us, and I don't think the bridge guys like being here anymore.
well, we have a reasonable assurance it's going to be in place.
No, you go too far.
Huh? I mean,
We
this
don't
is
know.
pretty critical for us.
Yeah, we don't, I mean, of course, but I mean, that's the anticipation is that there'll be a repair that will stay in place, but we'll have to see.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to enjoy this because when 2029 comes, there won't be a bridge here. So when will we gonna do, right?
So that brings me to the next point.
Here we go. Here we go.
On
Go back to
December
microphone.
the 2nd, your first meeting in December, we will have a V-Trans scoping engineer Laura Stone
Okay.
and VHB project manager Jamie Roy. They will be here to discuss the scoping report for bridge number 31. So there is a draft that's out, and if you don't have a copy, I will
It's on the website.
send you. It's on the
You
website.
can go
Yeah,
online.
no, I've seen it.
You've seen it.
I have a copy.
PVR appeals, I believe we are awaiting decisions on the Kaplan case and the Wilson case. We've gone through all of the hearings for all of that. I went to a DRB hearing on October 20th and again on November 30th to review A&R floodplain manager and our engineer, Ham Hodgman's information regarding building in the floodplain fringe area. We're talking about Memorial Hall. We remember we had a change order to build a utility and fire egress platform and to extend, essentially we're replacing an existing platform, but we're extending it in order to meet GMP and FEMA regulations. So there was also a review of the ADA access ramp. This is another grant, and to remove and replace with an extended unit, again, to meet, on this one, to meet ADA standards. And then the removal and reconstituting of historic windows, which will require us to add plywood temporarily to the interior to keep the weather from coming into the building. So I'm waiting for a decision on that. Lake Rapana Dam Maintenance Program, we're waiting for the state to get back to us on the last information that our engineers, MSK, sent them. Landfill.
They're coming Thursday.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll talk in a minute. So KAS Consulting, Steve Diglio, he's looking at another place in Springfield, but he'll be down here in the afternoon, hopefully to meet with Superintendent Dix. This has to do with determining whether or not how we get certified for something called no exposure under the Vermont Multi-Sector General Permit. So he's done a little bit of a review, has to be done before January 15th, 2026. And it has to do with whether or not the facility is still operating and whether or not we actually need to have one of these permits in place. And, that's why we hire an engineer to tell us those things. So I'm hoping that Marshall will be able to meet with them at the landfill. We have 2 outstanding cases in court. Actually 3, I'm sorry. Lacombe, Ziskowski, and Zaringer. So those are just continuing to be in process. On the Lacombe one, our attorney made a request to grant summary judgment by the court. So we don't have to go to trial. They basically just make a ruling. And we have a court hearing on January 5th on the Ziskowski case and a possible deposition on the Zaringer case. So those are just in progress. That's all I have. For
All right. Anybody else have any? Oh, sorry, Doug.
This has to do, what's the deal on our sidewalk and these phone poles? Are they gonna disappear this next month?
That would be nice.
It
I'm just asking.
would be wonderful. We have no idea. Doug.
We're
We
waiting
don't control it.
No, we're waiting for Consolidated to move their lines, but they want to do specific work before they will move their lines so that we can remove at least the poles on the sidewalk.
So we're looking at another couple of years.
Well, they're still working on the backside of Hogback.
Yeah.
They still haven't transferred everything.
I'm
over.
trying to keep on them.
No, so I don't know what.
That's all I can say.
I say 2 years,
Could be, could be.
just one. yes.
Anyway, so if no one else says anything for the good of Wilmington, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. We have motion to adjourn in a second. All those in favor, say.
Aye.
Oh, he's already come up. Yeah. All right. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, folks.